have something to say? It's another bubbly moment on the bubble where you can say what you want to say. On today's episode, we would take you to the street for some ginger on washing your hands and how often people do so. Sounds not too serious, right? Wait till you hear more about it on Footnote. Don't forget, this is that show where we showcase everything as it is before we crank it all up. Welcome to the bubble for moments of factual opinions. It's a one-stop arena for everything called sports. A fusion of entertainment and unusual moments in the sports world. Whether it's a football season, an ATP tour in tennis, a heavyweight contest, or a Formula One Grand Prix. X-Sports, the show for the explosive sports lover. Learn from the world's top 10 on our countdowns. Know what and who is at the top of their game. Hear sport-loving fans on the street and feel their pulse. Get inspired as we unveil various sports legends. Feel the vibes on X Special and catch all of the amazing excitement. And on Sports Matters, get blown away by extraordinary moments. X Sports. Feel the fusion. Imagine you finishing from the bathroom without doing the needful. Of course, you know what I'm talking about. I mean washing your hands. You sometimes use those unwashed hands on your mouth and then you set off on your normal daily activity. You could give one or two friends a handshake, which those at the receiving end might not realize. It could actually be disastrous to your health visiting the restaurant with those germ-infected hands of yours. Not too many people engage in this hygienic activity, and even when they do so haphazardly just to fulfill all righteousness, or better still, just to go by. As simple as hand hygiene can be, it could save you from a whole lot of diseases when it is done properly before your meals, most especially.
The British have Tollywood,
Indians Bollywood,
Americans Hollywood,
Ghanaians Gollywood.
It brings you various extraordinary renditions
Exclusively from Nigeria.
It's indigenous,
Original,
from the roots.
It's our own.
Ndị Igbo na-akpụ ya
Hausawa suna cewa àwọn Yorùbá ń pè ní
19 way they use watch film.
ihe nkiri onyonyo
wasan kwaikwayo.
amóhùnmáwòrán.
A screen Nollywood.
I like it.
Twice, like 3 times, 4 times. You can't count it. Just you can wash your hand even when washing something or any other thing. But it normally happens that you do wash your hand at any time you want to wash your hand.
Like, let's say, even though every 5 minutes, sure.
3 times daily.
That is very sensitive. When you use yourself, you must wash your hand at any time, because you must, at times you do have handshake, all those things.
I wash my hand is time with that number.
Like 4 times, I guess.
I wash my hand twice a day, morning and night, when I'm going to work, and anytime I do any dirty work or I just involve myself in touching 1 or 2 things, I make sure I wash my hand, go to the restroom, because it's very hygienic.
I wash it regularly.
Whenever I want to eat, that's when I wash my hands.
Not really, but after washing, after going to toilet, then so many things.
When I go to toilet, and sometimes when I enter bus, getting home before doing anything, I wash my hand with soap. And when I go to toilet, then after cooking.
To be sincere, when I wake up in the morning, I think I have my bath. I wash my hand when I have my bath. Then maybe after cooking, or maybe after doing my house chores. I think those are basically the time I wash my hands.
Like 5-6 times a day. Most times, like I'm this person that gets sweated very well. So most times when I come, if I'm feeling hot, I try to wash my hand and my face.
Almost every time, because you walk. Since I walk, I wash my hands almost every time. So it's more often.
I wash my hands whenever I want to eat. If I go to toilet, if I go to wee-wee, I always wash my hand.
Ká tó jẹun, a máa fọṣẹ fọwọ́. Later tá bá jẹun tán, a ti máa fọṣẹ fọwọ́ again. Sick.
Well, it's good to wash your hand with soap before eating. Depending on where you're coming from or where you are at that particular point in time, you just have to wash your hand with soap, then you eat. But maybe because we don't practice that every day in Nigeria, that's why at times it's just something that maybe when you instruct someone to do, the person will do. But for you to say generally in Nigeria, we don't normally wash our hands with soap before we eat.
No, I do wash with, even though before eating and after it, I do wash with soap. So there is what we call personal hygiene. That is just it. It's just personal hygiene.
Definitely I wash with soap before eating and also wash with soap after.
Well, with soap, that if there is one, but if there is none, I don't use water.
No, I don't wash with soap before I eat.
Yes, with soap before I eat, yes.
No. Yeah, of course, yeah, I do.
Yeah, a liquid soap. I wash my hand with a liquid soap, and yeah, most times, normally water, but anytime I have access to liquid soap, and this one I use sanitizer. You understand? Most times.
Of course.
Sometimes, not every time, depending on the urgency of the food.
What's your #1 brand show? Hotspot for trendy, entertaining and juicy info on your brands and products. Brand Villa showcases brands that have carved a niche for themselves, sponsoring events, research, foundation, thereby giving them the desired visibility to the company's corporate social responsibility. Get exclusive chat up with executives of your favorite organizations and see them like never before. First-hand consumer view on products and services on the street. Discover how your favorite products are manufactured. Be sure not to miss highlights from glamorous brand-related events and so much more. This is Brand Villa.
My name is Dr. Ademola Oladoshu. The effect is that it keeps us from infection. As I've mentioned, more than 99% of what goes into our mouth comes through our hands. And so the good effect of washing our hands is that we prevent infection from entering our body, especially gastrointestinal infection and other infections that can be spread all over. Well, the most effective method of washing our hands is with soap, though there are antiseptic soap, and running water is the best. But where there are no running water, we can put water into a bath with soap, wash our hands with that soap. After that, pour that, and then bring another clean water to wash the soap off our hands. Those are the best methods. Remember Ebola. Ebola proved to us how important hand washing is. Because during Ebola, we were trained, we were warned to wash our hands as many times as possible. And so we can know that keeping your hands clean keeps you away from the hospital. Because as I've mentioned, anything that goes into the mouth usually is through the hands. And then when we keep our body from infection and infestations, because there are difference between infection and infestation is by worms and other parasites, and infection is by bacteria. When we keep our hands clean, we are free from infection, infestation in our own body, and we shall not be able to spread infections to the larger society, to our families and to the larger societies. Well, I will advise people to wash their hands as many times as possible, especially leaving the closet, the toilet, after using the toilet. 2, before every meal. 3, before we touch anything that is going into our mouth, we make sure that our hands are clean so that we don't introduce infection into our body. My name is Dr. Ademola Oladoshu, and I was advised that we keep washing the bubble.
Sanitize, no. I know that sanitizing thing is becoming too much in Nigeria. Everybody, because of the Ebola crisis, everybody wants to sanitize. I believe if you wash your hand properly, you might not need that sanitization.
No, because sanitizers, when someone has to go for shopping, at least soap can do the whole thing. I don't really get sanitizers every time.
I will not lie about that one, not really. But I know that I wash with soap, that's all. But using the sanitizer, maybe the Dettol, those ones, I don't.
The last time we sanitized was during the Ebola crisis, so I don't think it's part of us to sanitize our hands.
That doing the Ebola is just only for those who are not well educated, who are not experienced. They suffer most. Because there was during the Ebola, a friend of mine called me that I should use salt. I was like, salt? I should use salt to bathe. I was like, I will use salt to bathe. That is another thing. But sometimes I didn't do anything. But during that Ebola, everybody was just scared and everything is just perfection.
No.
Ebola was horrible because traveling out of Nigeria and coming back, I had like 3 in my bag. That was how bad it was. Whenever you go secondary, to check you at the airport, hey, welcome, and you have to immediately just, that period was horrible.
Since this Ebola stuff came out, I always have it. So I don't really have a reason why I sanitize my hands, but I do it after washing. I sanitize my hands.
Yeah, I do. But it's not regular. I have sanitizers in my house. But in a local areas where you work, where you eat or you interact with people, there is not sanitizer on that place.
In this season of The Diary, catch a glimpse of different acts and personalities in the world of fame and glamour and their real-life experiences. Talk about music, comedy, acting, spoken word, and what have you. Hear veteran Nollywood actor Akin Lewis narrate his ordeal when death came calling.
I looked like Igbo.
An Igbo man, okay.
So they got me, tied me up, and laid me on the ground, and somebody was reciting something, and then my mother turned up.
Okay.
And all of that. But the truth was I died.
Without forgetting, of course, the multi-talented singer and dancer Nikki Laoye, who ascribes the inspiration behind one of her award-winning songs to her father.
Because I watched him pass away, and that period is very devastating to anyone that's experienced it. And for a while, I was so depressed. I stayed away from music. I stayed away from everybody for a while, and it was a trying time for me. But God was so good. He kept friends and family and people around us.
As you watch The Diary, not only are you getting up close and personal with amazing celebrities, but you would enjoy thrilling moments of fun you could ever imagine, like open floor for up-and-coming acts, Bust the Balloon, and so much more. You think you have passion? Find out what Dr. actor Kiki O'Malley said about leaving the world of medicine for the acting scene.
Why don't you just go and do what makes you happy? Do what makes you happy. So yeah, I just started attending auditions, and then I landed my first lead role, and the rest is history.
Have you really been depressed? Then wait till you hear the story of popular Nigerian music artist Simi the Jam Question Crooner. Still on The Diary this season, ace comedian Baba Di Baba takes us on a journey into his childhood as a Lagos housekeeper, popularly called houseboy.
My story, when it was houseboy job that brought me to Lagos.
Are you serious?
Since you're tough in the village, that's they'll not say you go Lagos. You understand?
You know what? This season's lineup is endless, and you don't want to miss any part of it. Join your host, motivational speaker and compare extraordinaire Kunle Pelemo, popularly known as KP, and Alayonde Tosin, broadcaster, TV content enthusiast, fashion designer, and blogger, as they add humor, passion, and camaraderie, delivering to you a show that brings real-life experiences and entertainment to audiences around the world. And you don't want to miss any part of it.
N-I-W-K-I-Nikki. I'm sitting with Kunle and Tosin on The Diary.
Wow.
I know you were sitting right there and you were wondering, but I'm just having fun, and we on The Diary. I just had to play.
That was brilliant.
Nice.
This is The Diary, and you've never seen anything like it. Share the experience. You've seen it all, you've heard it all. Dirty hands is a life of ill health. Clean hand brings you all you need without even asking. So, stay clean, stay healthy. Do remember to follow The Bubble on our various social media platforms displayed on your screen. That's it on The Bubble this week. Join us again next time. Bye-bye.